They're coming to get you, Barbara.
The Fear Central Radio Show. Warning, our content may include spoilers and is intended for mature audiences.
Hey, fellow horror fans, welcome to the Fear Central Radio Show. I am your host, Mike, and somebody start?
Heather.
Katie.
Paul.
Chris.
Okay, so we're all here. Yay.
Yay! I've
because
missed everybody.
last week we weren't here.
I did too.
It was just me and Mike last week.
No, that was the week before. We missed last week completely.
Oh yeah, because
I was bedridden.
Or gone.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Yeah, and then the week before that it was just Heather and I giving you back to school
And then the week
Horror
before
Fest.
that, I was gone.
Yeah, and the week before that you were gone.
Because 2 weeks I was gone.
Yep.
Yeah, because vacation and graduations and all that
Yep,
wonderful stuff.
she was on vacation.
I was.
She went to go to Wally World.
No.
Wall World.
You went to go see Porter Ranzas
I
one
went
last time
to
before it blew
Porter
away.
Ranzas, which is on the Texas
Well, I was
coast. If
trying
you
to go
guys
with
don't
vacation
know.
there.
And no, I didn't go with Wally. And our hearts go out to everybody who's suffering because we know a lot because we're from Texas. We all have people in that area. And
Indeed.
We do.
Yep.
So our thoughts and prayers are with all of them and recovery and everything.
And big hopes that the other ones forming aren't going to be
Irma, and something else. There was
There's like
a
two
couple
or
They
three.
finally
of them.
named it.
Irma was the latest one,
Uh-huh.
and so hopefully it doesn't head this
Kind
way.
of weird to have them this late in the year.
You know, and it's funny because when we were down there, me and Chad and his uncle were talking, and he was telling me that this has been a weird hurricane season because they haven't had any. Mm-hmm. We should have knocked on wood because
Yeah.
Should have.
they minor damage, which is great, but they were here last week. That was the other reason we didn't have it, is because I had refugees in my house,
Right.
which is
Yeah.
fine.
Right.
We would have loved them anyways, you know.
Oh, I know, and you were
always love
welcome.
Uncle Way.
Uncle Way.
Uncle Way.
Uncle Way. So if there's some stammering or some slurring of the words in this show, this show is brought to you by Absinthe.
Yes.
La Tourmente Vert.
We
La
love
Tourmente
The
Vert.
Green Torment is what you've been drinking.
Except for me.
La Tourmente Vert.
Usually I'm the only one at the table drinking. Usually I'm the only one at the table drinking, but I had one sip and I don't like licorice.
It's
So
not really even green. It's more like a blue.
it's turquoise.
It's this brand. Like, they vary in color because we had one that had, I don't remember what it was. but
Absinthe Grand.
yeah, and it was a itty bitty bottle, and it was like yellow. So,
Yeah. It's the very high
Looks
sought
like
after
pee.
but very illegal Romulan ale.
Yes.
yeah.
15 years ago it was illegal. Yes. But
Yeah.
So basically, we're partying like Romans.
Romulans.
I can't remember. Is this the shade of blue that they use for Romulan ale?
I don't think so.
No, it's a little darker.
Okay, that's what I
I'm
thought.
thinking it's a little
That was more greener.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
more green.
Yeah, a little more green.
I'm
Yep.
rewatching TNG right now, so
you'll sound like racist ants talking about Star Trek races.
we weren't talking
All
about
those damn
races.
Romulans.
It's very close.
Oh, it is close.
It is very close.
It's
Oh, is that
slightly-
Romulan ale?
Yes,
yeah,
it
just
is.
slightly
Oh,
more
yeah.
blue.
Yeah, just
Fast
slightly-
fingers over here.
A little
Found
bit
it.
more
Fingers.
fluorescent, but yeah.
More mint, less witter green.
We'll just put a black light on. It'll be the same thing.
Right?
It
Okay,
clears the
so-
sinuses.
Throw some strobe lights up in here.
and
we'll
it
be
is-
good to go.
We are in the month of September.
We are
which
in
is
the month
great.
of September, which is
So
awesome.
of course Halloween decorations are already going up. in my
Yeah,
house.
that's right.
They are.
Well, okay, they are in your house. We haven't quite started yet.
Your house is already decorated for Halloween.
We
What
never
the hell are
take
you
it
talking about?
You know, that's
It's
the
the
funny
Adams
thing
family.
is
Pretty
that
year-round.
I'm just teasing you, Chris.
the
I know.
kids, they had friends over and they were like, "Why is your Halloween decorations still up?" And my daughter, in her very blatant way,
These are
was
our
like,
decorations.
What do you mean Halloween decorations? These are our everyday decorations. And she's like, "Well, what do you do with Halloween decorations?" We put them away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Halloween. You don't
Actually,
keep that up all year.
Actually, Halloween comes to my house.
Yeah.
So I have probably 6 or 8 boxes,
Yeah,
big
you have
tote
some
boxes.
of ours.
Well,
and
I have
some of-
everybody's.
You have everybody's
Yeah.
right now.
I have
Yeah.
everybody's right now. So if y'all
Except
have any
for a
Halloween
few.
decorations you would like to bring to said party, then we
Yeah.
will.
I have
Speaking
a
of which,
coffin chalkboard.
we will be doing another live
Yes,
broadcast
we
from this
will.
party.
Yes, we will.
So-
It's
But I'm
exciting.
really excited about this one.
We'll get more into detail the closer we get.
We will. Lots.
But this show, we were gonna do a watch and review.
Yes, we were. We were.
It started that way.
We didn't finish our homework.
The dog ate the CD.
the last 35 minutes.
Yeah,
It's going to be a horrible movie if we turn it off.
yeah.
Because we
Yeah.
watch a lot of very bad movies.
Well, the problem is
Snow Shark.
there are two schools of horrible movies. There's interesting horrible, and then there's nothing is happening.
This is pointless horror. I
Yeah.
mean, lots of shooting and very little dialogue. The word "fuck" a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
This is
Fuck a lot.
You know, I have a feeling
exactly. Sir,
that
fuck a lot.
Lance Henriksen and Jerry Stone only were in this movie to pay the bills. I just.
I think it was just because Lance was down for the Texas Frightmare that weekend and went, I'll just do the movie while I'm here.
Yeah,
Yep.
pretty much.
Might as well.
Why not?
Hey.
and
hang out
and really, they
sometimes.
made the movie because they had the locations. They had filming
Yeah.
rights to
The baker.
and prison or something
prison,
in
yeah.
Dallas.
Yeah,
In downtown Dallas, off Main and Commerce.
Yeah.
Y'all know if you had that damn locations, y'all be shooting shit.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. If it got me inside the baker because
Oh,
we
I
we
would
want
do
to go
anything.
see the
Let's
baker.
go.
We
The
do
baker.
anything.
We've been around the outside several times.
Let's all go
I've
to
driven
the
by
baker.
it.
those
I've been
of-
like, oh, that's the baker.
Okay,
Yeah.
so for those of you who don't
If-
know what the Baker is, it is a hotel in the town of Mineral Well, Texas.
Yep.
It's said to be haunted.
It's been around
by
since
numerous ghosts.
19...
It was,
It was built in the 1920s.
1920s,
yes,
yeah.
it
It's
was
the Art Deco style.
and very, very popular this day.
because Mineral Wells was an oil boom town.
Well, not
And-
only that, it was the excessive mineral water.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I mean that's the
various
reason.
stages.
That's how they got it was
Yeah.
not just the water, but because it was an oil boom town, and that's.
What an answer.
Tell me I'm right.
Oh yeah,
Tell me if I'm wrong.
Oh yeah,
Okay, 'cause
no,
you're
the oil
uh,
boom most definitely was a big thing to create mineral wells.
Yes.
but at the time, whenever they were building it, mineral wells was actually their oil boom was tapering off because this area only lasted between 1918 and 1921.
And for also for you that don't know, Katie is our resident historian.
Yes.
So we get lots of very accurate information from her, which is great because we don't want to be talking crap about we don't know about. Although we will, we just
We will.
You know.
We talk crap about
The
what we
reason
don't
I know
about.
this stuff is I worked for a museum off I-20 that focuses on a town that both mined coal and drilled for oil in the area.
Right.
So it was all the same thing. Anyway,
It's gone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But the baker, yes.
Food
It's
and-
not gone.
Food
And
and
if you
water.
don't know what
No,
it
no,
is,
no,
people
just
have
food.
done
I figured.
numerous ghost things like, Ghost Adventures and...
Yeah, it's very difficult to get in there because there's still a lot of asbestos still falling out of the ceiling.
But they are renovating it to reopen it.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
well,
not-
here's the
Actually,
thing.
renovations have stopped. Right?
yeah.
They've been put on halt because of the funding needed in order to get
well,
all
it's
the-
because independent people are doing it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's so much asbestos in there that it's...
It's a real issue.
It's also huge. It was
Yeah.
built. It was built before they put a flying
12 or
ordinance in there.
14.
14.
14 floors?
14 floors. It was built in
Now, is that
19.
a true 14 floors?
No.
Did they hide floor 13?
I'm assuming they did because most
Okay,
people do.
technically there is always
Or
a
maybe
13th
15.
floor,
It
but
could be
literally
15.
That's what I'm
it's
wondering.
like this much.
Sometimes, yeah. 13 floors like an inch
Yeah.
big.
It was built in 1926 and
26.
closed in 1972.
Yeah.
It was constructed in 1926. It was open in 1927.
And through its early days in the 30s and 40s, I mean, movie stars would come from Hollywood to stay there.
Absolutely,
Had the
because
mineral water. and-
Exactly, it was close access to the resort of the mineral water.
Yep.
And we actually, I've read about this. They actually tout that Bonnie and Clyde actually stayed there while they were trying to hide out from
Yeah.
law enforcement. So
That wouldn't surprise me.
Nope.
They were all around here.
Yeah.
They ran all over this place.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yep.
So Katie,
That's Katie right over there.
Hi.
being that she's a historian, and it's kind of like a coming out for you almost with Halloween being so close, because this is what, now your second Halloween?
This will be our second Halloween
Yeah,
with
her
us.
second Halloween with us.
Yay.
It's almost like a coming out for her, because
Okay, so-
she's learning everything. So
What is this you need to learn about Halloween? You're the historian.
yeah.
Well, I know precious little about it because I grew up in a puritanical Southern or independent fundamental Baptist church.
Tell them what a jack-o'-lantern was for you.
Whenever
Turnip?
my parents, they wanted us to have the experience of carving pumpkins, just to do that, but we could never do anything other than a cross. So
Okay.
that was the extent. My parents got in trouble the first year that they took us trick-or-treating with our church. My dad was a deacon at the time, and they threatened to remove him from the board. Yeah, and he was also working with the youth at that time, and they put him on temporary suspension.
Okay, so far your dad's a badass for doing that.
Mm-hmm. My dad,
even though
does.
that by our by just
Well, and it's
Yeah.
not
somebody
just...
other than that, they would see it as, oh, it's not a big deal. But for your religion, that's like a huge step.
It's really big because that religion is particularly about uniformity and conformity.
Right.
So to break the mold, to step out and say our kids are going to do this because we want them to have those experiences because we enjoyed them as kids is a big step.
Right.
So the founder watched Freaks and decided that was the best thing was be one of us. One of us.
Well, and it goes to say that there are a lot of very conservative
Oh yeah.
religions that do not celebrate Halloween.
Right.
She was Baptist. I'm Church of Christ. A lot of the primitive Church of Christ and the old school, very conservative, they don't like to celebrate these holidays.
Right.
But the whole, I mean, and going back to what it started as, I get it, in a ritualistic kind of way. But
Which they still do a lot of celebration over in Ireland.
They do.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is with us here is it's become more of a commercial holiday where the kids dress up and adults in this case, in this house, dress up in costumes, and we have fun, and we just,
Eat too much candy.
So do you know how that started?
Certain things that are
it started. I don't remember in what year it started, but it started as a way to reel back pranksters to keep them from egging houses and that kind of thing on Halloween. So they said, let's have you all go door to door, and they'll give you things and wear masks. And
Well, traditionally, this is where you know that the writers of said show that you really love, Supernatural, does their homework, because the one where they actually took on Samhain was actually accurate.
yes.
The masks and everything came part of the fact that they were trying to hide themselves from all the spirits, so they weren't taken. It wasn't necessarily the demon thing like they did in the show, but it's very accurate to that. That's why they would dress up,
right.
Which then led to, when it got over here, it just became a fun thing.
Yes.
Right.
And they also, in Ireland and Britain, we have pumpkins, jack-o'-lanterns. They had turnips.
Right, because that's what they had.
Can we do one of these for Halloween? Because that is creepy as hell.
And then, yeah.
Can we have a few of these? That would be amazing.
Well, with
That's actually a rutabaga.
the
So
whole
with
thing
Thanksgiving
about-
coming up, there's
That's
tons of
fake
gourds.
what?
Fake turnips.
No, they're not fake turnips. They're different. They're coated in wax because they bruise too easily.
Yeah.
They don't transport well.
But it makes me wonder what it would look like in a gourd, because we get a lot of those coming
We
up
do
soon.
have a lot of
Yes.
gourds. Yeah,
That could be interesting.
it could be.
But
It could be fun.
pumpkins were to, when you carved them and everything, and you put them out on the front porch, they were
Scare away evil spirits.
Right.
there.
Yep.
I did know that. We got that. my parents were never blindly do this. It was this is our explanation of why you do things.
Right.
So sometimes it was accurate information, sometimes it
Not
wasn't.
so much.
Yeah, so
Which then translated in America to leaving the light porch on.
right.
Yeah.
Porch light.
Yeah.
See, that's that absence right there.
Which,
The light
I mean,
light porch
there's
on.
still
The light
some-
porch is on.
There's still some things that, we do around Halloween, like we still light candles, we still do the pumpkin, we still allow the kids to dress up and go trick-or-treating.
Paul is very quiet this show.
He is. He's very,
Normally,
very quiet.
he's
Is
not.
that absence kicking your butt? Kicking in
Oh.
yet?
Have some
I'm
more.
fine.
honey.
No.
No, it's just mellowed him out.
He
That's
has
what it
a
is.
liver of steel.
Oh my gosh.
I haven't found that
you
videotape
finished
yet.
with yours?
Where can you get that one?
I have not. I have seen this man consume large quantities of very intense liquor, and I have never once seen him truly drunk.
I'm French.
Not once.
That explains so much. You started out with a cup this big.
Yes. And then you went, wee. So what else about Halloween?
So is there anything you wanted to know?
Let's see.
If you go back and watch episode... No, I'm kidding.
But the thing is that you were never allowed
Right.
to celebrate Halloween. See, we always were. As much as,
All the way back to those plasticky costumes with the plastic mask with the rubber band on the back.
No.
I have got to find... There's actually a picture in my grandfather's house of me and my sister dressed up, and I'm a clown, and my
Go
sister's
figure
a
that
witch. I know, and I was terrified of clowns. I'm not anymore.
You said witch, right?
Yes, a witch.
Okay.
That would not have
That's
been
not what I
allowed.
heard.
Wait,
our
she
house.
still is,
Yeah.
isn't she?
Hey.
You said it, not me.
Our Halloween
No, she's
costumes.
the bee.
I was a cow the first 4 years of my
Okay.
life.
Ashlyn was a cow one year. I actually
Really?
made her a cow costume.
And my sister and I were matching cows. And then the next year, I was Little Bo Peep for 3 years in a
Okay.
row. And then I was Alice in Wonderland, or Alice. And then after that, I was Esther one year. That was
Oh goodness!
Yeah,
they
that was
went into the biblical figure.
No, that was the time where we read a lot, and I was like, strong woman in the Bible. Oh my gosh, Esther. So
Yeah.
So whenever you said that,
because strong women made me really happy.
I'm not in the right mindset because you said Esther, and I'm like, Esther Prim?
I knew what she was talking about.
I was like, oh no, that's Ethel. I was thinking of Lucy's neighbor.
That would be so meta if your family dressed up as characters from The Conjuring or from the Crucible.
Oh my gosh! Yes.
No, I like The Conjuring better. Which one?
No,
did you go?
no, but I mean, if you're a strong Christian family that doesn't celebrate Halloween and you all dress up as Puritans and go out,
Yeah.
we thought
That
about
would be
that for
fun.
Thanksgiving
Quakers.
one year. Oh, and then one year we were Christmas carolers on Halloween.
I've seen that photo.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
And I mean, I get
A
it.
little
It's just.
confusing.
It's
So you went out
different.
singing to the Great Pumpkin.
We went to the people. Yeah,
You're all
We went to the
heathens.
people in our like from our church, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and with I don't know if, and I'm assuming as conservative as your church, as that religion sounds, for our church, we never did because we weren't super religious growing up. My dad was very disillusioned with the church, and we go to church now. I mean, he's come out of it, but he kind of went through his rebellious stage. And if you ever meet or saw my dad now, you would never believe what he looked like then. But they
your dad is a
started.
freaking hoot.
They started
Laura.
to have it to where they all gathered at the church on Halloween and had a Halloween, air quotes, party. And it was
Oh, they did the haunted house. This is what hell is like.
actually, yes, they did. They gave you the
Yep.
whole fire
Seen those.
brimstone.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah.
So one year,
Oh,
whenever I was in middle school, the First Baptist Church in our town put on a play, and it's called Heaven's Gates, Hell's Flames. and they went around to area churches, and it was a fire and brimstone, like, this is what hell will be type of thing. It was horrible. And
so if you're in Texas, don't ever use Heaven's Gate with anything.
No, you really shouldn't.
Yeah.
I was thinking that'd be a really cool album name.
Yep.
Well,
It's been taken by a stupid Christian play.
David Koresh did want to have
Heaven's
a band.
Gate, that's right.
Yeah,
that
true.
was Heaven's Gate, wasn't it?
It was.
Yep.
It took me a minute. Yes, it was.
Do you want to share that one, Katie?
You were part of
What about
David
it?
About
Koresh?
about your grandpa.
Oh, yeah. No, not my grandfather. So, my debate coach in high school, I'm very close to his wife, Erin. And Erin's father was a DJ at a rock station in Waco.
Oh, Lord.
And David Koresh, prior to being a cult leader, was a struggling rock artist.
Just like Manson.
And he would show up at any location of this radio station to give them
I know exactly which radio
samples.
station she is referring to as well.
Yeah, to give him samples to try to play on the air.
Dude, here's my demo, man.
And like it would be like stalkerish. Like he never figured out where he lived, but he would show up at strange places where they hadn't reported they were going to be, and it was crazy.
Well, and during all of that, we lived probably 40 miles from Waco, and we had just been over in that area. My dad was a salesman, and I went with him a lot, and we had been over there, and then all this happened, and so it's very...
Yeah, when I was younger, we lived in Belmead, which is a suburb of Waco.
Yes,
Right.
it is.
Which was, I think my dad said, like 5-10 miles from where it all happened, was where our house was.
Well, and it's funny because now we've kind of moved on to things that have happened when you have been. Do you remember when the man drove into Luby's and shot it up?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
I
remember
actually
that.
went to school less than 2 miles from where that happened.
Wow.
It was on Secretary's Day. That's why it was so packed.
Yep.
And my mom was actually supposed to go, and she got busy at work and couldn't. And my dad, of course, was in Harlingen, which we live in North Texas. That is in very South Texas.
Yeah.
So, but it's weird how you get so close to so many different, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is.
Tragedies.
Yes.
Disasters.
That you're, it's like 6 degrees of separation
Right.
for all of us.
From Kevin Bacon.
There's also
I am not talking about Kevin Bacon, okay?
There's also a fun little fact about David Koresh in that branch. So prior to, they're actually a branch off of Seventh-day Adventists. And that branch off was actually led by a Rodden sect. We don't know which ones or how
That
we're
would be her
related.
maiden name.
That is my maiden name.
Maiden name is Rodden.
So we are related to the people that originally started that branch. And I know the name, but I can't remember the
Quite a
specific
bragging
name.
point.
It's okay,
Yeah.
Katie. We still love you.
Well, you still got the other bragging rights. though,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That, you're somewhere related to the other Roddenberry.
That I am.
You need to exploit that, Katie.
I don't know how to.
For all it's worth, go for it.
You gotta go first. We gotta go to a convention, and you can meet his son.
There we go.
You are a historian. You
You're
can
like,
figure
somewhere
that
down
out.
the line, we're related. Can I tap into this?
Even if it's just setting up your booth,
Right?
do it for free.
Hey, yeah.
So now that you've kind of come out to our version of Halloween,
This is Katie's coming out
what do you
party.
think?
It's better than Orville's.
I've been sitting here trying to think of. It's like because we're in the South and you keep saying the coming out party. I'm sitting here going like, what the hell's that word? Oh, cotillion.
Cotillion.
Yeah.
It's a Halloween cotillion.
Cotillion.
Yes, and
So
I am now of marriageable age and am available. I love you.
Which is kind of funny because
Well, that is-
Forgot
last
to
year
tell you
y'all
what we
did
put in
come
the
as
absinthe, honey.
they
Sugar
came
Skull.
as sugar
Yeah, we
skulls.
did.
Yeah.
As sugar skull man and wife, and it was amazing, and they looked
So
great.
cute.
So
It was fun.
I'm so glad because you had been over like one time before.
Just once.
And then she comes over for the Halloween party.
Yeah. and she's like,
I was all
I'm
like,
not-
I think they'll like me.
oh my god, that was like the most I'd ever talked to you that night. And it was like, holy crap, she's gonna fit in.
Yes. and
I
it's,
like her.
and it's hard. We're not a hard group of people to get to know or talk to.
Nope.
Excuse me.
We're not hard to get to know or to talk to. We're very
kinda
approachable.
like books in some respects.
We're very approachable.
Depending on how much liquor, he might be hard to get words in.
Right. But
I was gonna say.
but the other
whether or
part,
not I've been
but the other,
caffeinated.
well, the other part of that is we are very loud and we are
Yes.
very opinionated,
Yes.
and we also don't give two shits what people think about us.
That's my opinion.
And so, whenever you come to set
Get that out right there, Heather. Whenever
Sex.
you come to
Sex.
suck what?
sex.
Sex?
Yes. Whenever you come
I
to
might not be coming to the Halloween party.
Whenever you come to our
We're going traditional this year.
We'll stop
Whenever you
short of
come-
an orgy.
no, thank you. Whenever you come to our gatherings, that's a better word.
Yeah.
You can be offended very easily, and I'm so
right.
glad you were not, because
Yeah.
that would have been terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, because sometimes we can just fly off the handle and be like,
I'm pretty sure our marriage
I
would
thought
have
I was
been
just
annulled
thinking
if she got offended easily.
Both of us tend to like our humor is deprecating, whether
Well,
it's
we know that now, but I mean, when we first
Me,
met
because
you,
we didn't know a whole lot about you,
Yeah,
and Paul
right.
never
We
would
met
like.
Paul.
I have known Paul for a long time, but it was like, I don't know. It was weird because I was like, are you sure she's gonna be okay with this group of people, Paul? Because
She was asking the same question.
oh yeah.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
I am so glad that we have
And now
found
you've
each other.
become one of us.
Yes.
yeah,
She's never seen that movie, by the way.
Nope.
really? Freaks?
Nope.
So
need to
how
see
how
it.
do
I
you
need to see
feel
that.
now that you know what you know? And
I mean, it's been very eye-opening to learn as we go, because my first real I didn't get into it, but my first experience with a secular Halloween.
I thought that was going in a
No.
totally different direction. I was like, "Whoa, Katie."
Secular meaning non-Christian.
Yes, no, I know what that means. I was
Oh,
I don't know.
secular, not secular. Okay.
Jeez.
We got a lot of sucking going on here.
But it was my first semester at Texas State University, which is the number one party school in the nation.
It is.
At the height of its party school glory. And I was in one of those halls that everybody was at the different parties, and I didn't
And she was
know.
like, shh, I'm trying to study.
I didn't know that
Mike Wazowski.
you wore that people wore the outfits they wear, and that they were allowed to wear such things in public.
Oh, yeah.
It was interesting.
Okay. I have a question whenever you're done with this.
Yeah, I remember seeing a sexy nurse, and it was really little more than like spandex shorts that were white, and that pseudo was a skirt, and then a bra, pretty much. Like it was really interesting, because I had never seen that much flesh in my life.
Well, she had the nurse hat on, though, right?
Oh, Katie
What?
was very
She had the
sheltered.
nurse hat on, though, right?
Yeah, nurse hat.
Gotta
Yes,
have the nurse hat.
Well, that I was at that same party. She lost it pretty quick. So.
Man, hate it when
Pretty
they
sure
lose
she
the
lost
hat.
a lot of other things that night too.
Oh gosh.
Head nurse.
Yup.
Literally.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, your question.
Okay, so considering our society's ridiculous obsession with sexy
Everything.
blank costumes, what is the worst one that y'all have seen in catalogs or in person? My personal pick is Sexy Chucky. Because there is Tiffany, but there's also Chucky, like for women to dress up and show off cleavage while looking like the Chucky doll.
Sexy Chucky.
I think the ones that are like the sexy furries. You know what I'm talking about? Like the skunk with the big hat thing and the tail, and it's like nothing in between. I'm like, and the fuzzy, like
Like
Just
Fifi
not a
from
furry
Tiny
person.
Toons?
Warmer.
leg warmers. I'm like, really? Who the hell wants to go as a fluffy raccoon?
A furry.
A furry raccoon. A sexy raccoon. I mean, come on now. I've seen them things. Or
Oh,
possum.
yiff.
Ooh, I want to be a sexy possum.
Furries might like it.
So you can lay there and play dead?
Yeah, well, yeah. after a Halloween party, usually that's what happens.
Okay.
It's called alcohol consumption.
Exactly.
Mine. This is sad because it's a very traditional one, but we figured this out that I don't like the student teacher thing. Like,
sexy student.
I don't
Okay.
like that.
That and the baby doll thing. I hate the baby doll thing because every time I see it, I'm like, ooh, pedophile walking.
Yeah.
What about Sexy Dora?
Ugh,
Oh, that one.
no, that pisses me off.
Whenever you the
That's
look
the
on her
thing.
face, was
Swiper, no
priceless.
swiping. Swiper, no swiping.
Mira.
What's in your backpack?
Yeah.
Definitely in Capital One.
Oh, wow.
Another one, and I guess it's like because it's ironic if you think about it on an intellectual level, but no one's going to think about it this way. The sexy nun,
That's what I was going to say.
I like the sexy nut.
like that
That's
was
a 70s
Okay,
staple.
I like the pregnant nun
Nunsploitation.
thing because it's a whole funny thing.
Right.
But sexy nun, come on.
yeah.
Kind of sexy nun and boner priest. I mean, have you not seen that costume?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
No.
Yes, I have.
It needs
Usually-
to die.
usually it's pregnant
Like the
nun.
bloody
Yeah.
tampon thing.
What?
There was a costume that was a bloody tampon.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's move on.
There was another one.
Moving on.
Nope,
That's,
nope,
we don't
nope.
need to talk
What
about
about
that.
Captain Condom?
No. Yes, that was a thing. No.
I've seen
Okay,
that costume.
so what was your favorite costume growing up? I mean, Katie, poor kid, was,
Esther.
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 And,
Esther.
Christmas
She was a
Caroler.
badass. Leave her alone.
I
Esther
left
was-
out Rapunzel. I
Oh,
was
Rapunzel.
Rapunzel
Oh,
one
okay.
there.
Well, see, Rapunzel a little bit,
I
but
can
be
see
a cow when
Rapunzel.
you're a little kid.
Yeah.
I get it.
I think the question should also be expanded to what was your most embarrassing, probably whenever you were a child.
Yes, that too. So, let's see. What?
Mine probably would have been a hobo.
I was a ghost.
Because we didn't really have a lot of money when I was growing up, so my mom just threw me in some really old work around the house clothes that were oversized and
Yeah.
painted my face like I was dirty, and I was like a hobo.
Okay.
So I can tell you, my favorite was also the worst.
Uh-huh.
When I was a freshman in high school, I dressed up like a saloon girl. And I don't mean like a covered saloon girl. I had the petticoat dress that showed almost all my parts, and it came down real low, and it had the bustier thing.
So-
I was a freshman in high school.
That's why she wore it.
No, my mother got it for me.
Oh my gosh!
It was
really?
It was one that my grandmother
your
had bought my
dad?
mother.
Oh my god!
Wow.
This
Yes.
is like a transcending.
You are kidding me.
costume.
No, I am not.
My grandmother
There's a Halloween
made most of
cotillion.
our.
I'm telling you.
My grandmother made most of our costumes from scratch, and so I don't remember what Kara was. She had cute costumes too, but
Yeah.
my favorite was. I loved my Rapunzel costume because my mom made a floor length wig out of yellow yarn and braided it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
It was the big cone hat that she
Oh my God, I
spray
had
painted
Princess
and
outfit like that. It
Really?
was pink and gold.
yes,
And it was
mine was
really
pink and
tall.
silver.
And you had to stiff the tissue up in it so that it stayed pointed. Yes.
Somewhere we still have it because my mom never throws anything away.
I actually gave mine away.
I was a go-go dancer when I was in like the 4th grade.
Oh my god, how cool.
How do you
Really?
Right.
They have thigh-high boots for your kids?
They do actually. Is that
Ow.
They're probably
terrible?
worse than that now.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh
My
yeah.
But yeah.
favorite costume was Elvira.
okay, yeah.
I bought
4th
one-
grade?
No, actually
Second grade.
not. I was 18.
Okay.
And I bought it, and it was my very first one. And I remember
Costume or Elvira?
No, I remember buying the costume.
If you bought
and
Elvira, I'd
going
like to know where
home.
she's being kept.
Right?
And just
should be great on the show.
This was too plain, so I cut the cleavage down a little bit more and sewed rhinestones on it, and I made a bat out of rhinestones for the belt, and I had the slit go up a little bit more.
So being
She was full on horror Elvira. She was horror-vira.
so there are certain movies that I get worried whenever I show my feminist wife. And like whenever I showed her that one, I was like like watching it through that lens, I was like, there's not even a cleavage on that thing. That thing goes all the way down to her waist.
Okay, I'm all for women, but I am not in any way, shape, or form a feminist as it is described today.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
That's
Well,
what
when
two
you say
camps.
feminist,
Two
So
camps.
when you say
camps.
feminist, you have to specify that you are not.
I am a
the-
true feminist.
yes.
Any
I
aspect?
have published papers on a true feminist perspective, meaning equality.
Yes.
I am not about the one being greater than another.
Okay, good.
I'm about equality entirely.
Well, I figured, but when you're telling people who don't know us that you're a feminist, you
Right.
might want to specify that a little bit.
It kills me. It kills me
What they are
that's
today.
What not that what they are today, because they're most of the feminist movement believe what I do, but the problem is what you see and what you hear about are those other people.
Yeah.
And the ones that
the other white meat.
Yeah. Yeah. And they give us a bad name because they're the ones that speak out the most.
So here's my question. You guys, I mean, you live with her and you live with me.
No.
And how women, basically.
You're
and
kidding me. Who are you?
Well, and the thing is that Mike lives with 4 women, Paul lives with 1, and a female dog.
I grew up in a 4-female household.
I'm the only girl in my house.
So how
So
do you feel?
About tampons? I hate them.
No. How do you feel about being around women
buy 'em.
that are strong?
That is a
You could
good
almost say that our
question for
children are
men.
feminists somewhat.
Depends on the child and what the situation is. Because some of my children get to be extreme feminists.
Yeah, sometimes.
and here's the thing: if they couldn't handle strong women, they would not be married to you two.
Why do you think I had to buy
They
a
would
male
not be
dog?
around all of us because we are strong women, and we
Yes.
do
I know.
expect.
You should see how much they can bench press.
I'm
Holy
sorry
shit.
says great strengths about you guys, because I'm sorry you have to have a very
Big set of
strong-
cojones to be
strong
around us.
backbone and a strong set of brass balls and highly intelligent to hang around us.
Well, my thought is, because I mean, you know, once we get married, we start thinking about down the road having kids and everything, and think we both want a daughter starting out. But if we have a son, the one thing I've thought about is that I'm going to make damn sure that we teach them how to properly respect women.
And I have to say that with as many girls as Charlie is around, he is very respectful of girls.
Yes,
He's
he is.
not. He knows, because he knows. Let's see. There are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 girls in our little group, and 1 Charlie.
Yep.
He's the only boy. He knows that if he treats a girl wrong, that any one or all of those 7 are going to whoop his butt. And he knows better. And his mama has also instilled in him that you treat a girl right, correct? Yes.
He looked
Wide-eyed.
like he was shocked.
No,
No, it was one of those that he knows what answer he's supposed to give. So.
and he really is. He really is. I mean, for being a 12-year-old boy, which most time are very ugly to girls, he really tries not to do that. You know, he tries not to be like the other boys who pick on the girls and who tell them they're ugly and their hair is not nice. Charlie is he sticks up for them at school, whether he likes them or not.
But he won't hold back.
He won't.
He will tell
He
them.
will let you know.
He will tell the girls if he thinks their outfits aren't right, if their hair is off, if their
And that
makeup
comes
is
from
too
being
much.
around so many girls.
Exactly.
Right,
So, yep.
So that being said, how you feel, babe?
I'm feeling pretty good.
So
so back to Halloween.
We were still on the costume question.
yes.
I think.
Yeah, that's
Because last was your Elvira.
She had Elvira.
So what was your most embarrassing?
It had to have been the Elvira one.
Oh, that was the embarrassing.
Oh, I
one.
ripped it up to a point where I could show you everything.
It was both. Okay.
Well, I cut
And I was a little embarrassed
and
about
made
that.
it so that it looked very much like hers. And then I didn't realize that I had, at the time, boobs. And boobs, if you don't tape them right, go everywhere.
Yup.
I hope you didn't have to run anywhere that night.
Actually,
you could run because nothing would move, right?
I did, but here was the thing. I had them...
She didn't tape them right.
I didn't.
Wardrobe malfunction.
Here was the
Oh,
thing. I was
dang
just
it.
learning about how to do that kind of thing,
Right.
with those kind of costumes,
Evidently,
and
Elvira's got it down right.
it didn't tape right. And so when I ran,
She has a costume
it
team.
came open at one point.
Well, how do I get to be the one to put
And
those in there?
so, yeah, it was very embarrassing because it was in front of a guy I liked who turned out to be a boyfriend later. But
Oh.
I thought you were going to say gay.
With that wardrobe
I so
malfunction?
thought that's
I
where
thought
that
she was
going
gonna
to.
say gay. I really thought that's where that was going.
it just so happened that I was running to try and keep up with him to go to the bar, and my
Yeah, that would cause me to
Turned
be.
out-
Hey, you want to
Turned
go
out to be a boyfriend. Go
Yeah.
figure.
A guy who turned out to be gay. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Oh, it happens to me all the time.
But on the other side of this, I also was asked out by
Every guy that turned when you malfunctioned.
And girl, for that matter.
Yeah,
No, I was asked out by the bouncer too.
because he got some bouncing.
You know bouncers need love too.
Yeah, they do.
He saw some bouncing.
But yeah, that was my most embarrassing.
Okay, Paul.
Paul,
That was a one-time thing.
come on, Paul.
All right.
Wait, Katie never told us her most embarrassing.
No, I did not.
Oh, no, you
What
didn't.
was your most embarrassing?
So I have two.
Okay.
One
Sorry,
is
Paul.
more because of what I said about it.
Uh-oh.
And
Okay.
the second is because my mom's impossible. So
Impossible.
All mothers are impossible.
So the one where my mom's impossible was the we were carolers, because it wasn't just a let's go carol. It was we went in full 19th century dress. We rented.
Wow.
My grandmother made
poor
4
baby.
outfits, women's outfits for us to wear,
So,
and then we
like Victorian
rented.
style?
Yes,
and
my,
then
my first thought when I saw that photo was that were in a production of Great Expectations.
that is what it looked like.
Oh
Wow.
My, you poor baby. I'm surprised you didn't die of heat stroke.
Oh, it was bad. It was actually kind of cool that night.
Really?
Yeah, it really was. And we drove in between. We didn't walk
okay,
to places.
yeah.
So it was pretty
Not
easy.
proper
If anybody
caroling.
doesn't understand what we're talking about, basically back then you had like about a gazillion layers of fabric that was maybe less than about 6 yards, and it was all very heavy cotton and thick and
Corseted and
comfortable and
bustled.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
actually skipped the corsets because that's expensive. But,
Yeah, they are.
So we just went with everything else. And
I need to see said picture.
Oh,
I
okay.
do. I want to see it.
Yes.
I can get it. My
Just
mom
if
has
nothing
it.
else to go. Oh,
Well, you're going to be there tomorrow. Just snap a little pic of it so
Right,
you
okay.
can send
I
it
can
to
do
us.
that.
It's in our apartment.
It's in our apartment.
It's in
It
your
is in our
apartment.
apartment.
Where?
Yeah,
Why do we
wa-
have it?
It was on the desk forever.
he snatched it for you.
I didn't smash
No, it was never in our desk.
it. On the desk.
Okay, well, we'll look. But anyway, so that one, and then the one where I said something that made it really embarrassing. I did a very intricate Cleopatra costume.
Nice.
My senior year of high school. But rather than go with Cleopatra, which is what everybody would identify as, I decided to make a very specific headdress to be the Egyptian goddess Ma'at.
Nice.
So my explanation of it made it really awkward, and at the time I read a lot about Egyptian mythology.
So you
I
were the
love
nerd.
it.
We got
Oh yes.
it.
Oh yeah. So anyway, so I and I did the research to figure out what exactly was her headdress and what colors she used, and I did like some in-depth research, and then I made the costume myself. And the only thing I bought was the wig. So like, yeah, it was. Yeah.
Your favorite piece of jewelry before we got together was a cartouche your parents had given you.
That
Nice.
it is.
So
Your name Cartouche?
It is.
Awesome.
So, I mean, I don't know why you should feel guilty about that. You're
it's-
going to
I think,
research
she, I,
that.
think, I think it was the whole fact that she had to explain it because nobody
Yeah.
caught
To
the fact that it was
everybody
the
that
god.
came across.
Yeah.
They're
that-
like, oh, you're Cleopatra. And she's like, I am not.
That's what
Because
that's
we
what
had-
Americans know about
We
Egypt.
had a costume contest at this party, and so you went in by yourself, and then they asked you who you were, and then I launched into an explanation of the Egyptian goddess Ma'at and talked for 5 minutes before I finally shut up, because when I'm really nervous, I talk a lot. So,
That explains that night.
So are you nervous?
oh
tonight?
yeah, what?
Are you nervous tonight then?
No,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just Gabby.
She's had a little bit of that green berry.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. Green
Wait, there's one
fairy is
there.
fun.
She gets loud,
Kylie,
Paul gets quiet. I've noticed this about them.
Yeah,
And when it's opposite, he talks a lot, she's quiet.
correct.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
like yin and
But
yang.
absinthe
now-
is really like the only thing that makes me that way. Wine makes me
Paul, give her
more
more.
chill. Absinthe makes me bubbly and talkative.
Wait, have
And
you had
blunt.
have you had very much of Heather's favorite drink?
No,
Tequila?
Yeah.
I have. And you know that song, Tequila Makes Her Clothes Fall Off? That really happens.
Yeah.
Does it?
Oh, yeah.
It makes me dance on pool tables and then my clothes comes off. So
She needs to come
No
with
wonder
us
Chad-
for the weekend.
No wonder Chad's college friends want you to come back and go drinking.
So that was a
there?
very interesting evening. I was very nervous. I had a couple of very strong drinks, and they were huge. And I drank 2 of them plus a shot of tequila in like 30 minutes, and these were huge, like those huge goblets that you normally get
Right.
beer in, except it was like a double margarita in both through a straw.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was very intoxicated, and I called Mike.
she did. She's like, I'm really drunk. And I gotta pee. We're on the highway. There's a place to pee.
Chad, pull over to Monica's. I gotta pee. Let's stop at Allsup's. No, I have to put my shoes back on.
I don't want to go in a public bathroom.
You know,
I go to Monica's
you
and pee
know
for
you're a
free.
family when you can call each other's husbands and go, hey, guess what? I'm drunk. And they're sitting on the phone going, it's your sister. And I'm like, I don't want to talk to her. You talk to her. Okay, so are you driving? No, okay.
No,
Chad's driving. Okay, good.
Yes, but I'm a whole lot of fun when I drink. So
You are so much fun when you drink. So,
So
Julie,
we still need Paul's embarrassing
Oh yes,
favorite.
and Mike too.
come
And I
on.
had
I
Mike's.
gave you
in.
the
Come
hobo
on,
thing.
boys.
What was your favorite?
From a kid, I don't know. I mean, most of the time it was those plasticky.
Well, what was the the thing you wanted to be so bad?
I still
and you
haven't been it?
Finally, no. When you're a kid, you know, like there was, if there had to be a costume that you really wanted and you wanted to be this thing so bad, and you finally got it, and you were like, yes, I am Superman, or
According to my wife, I'm still a kid and I still haven't worn my costume I want.
what the hell? Come on now.
Because
He's
she
my
won't mold
biggest
my
kid.
head. I want my pinhead costume.
Every
You need to
time-
borrow Tim's pinhead costume.
So
But I
here's-
wanted to do the
here's
actual
what happened.
Yeah.
prosthetics.
We've tried to mold this man's head twice.
Still waiting on my vampire costume,
And
too.
every
Oh, yeah.
She was
mold
supposed to sew me
maker
one.
knows how hard it is to mold someone's head that one has claustrophobia,
I do not.
2 has allergies,
I do have allergies.
and 3, when you have that combined, it's very difficult.
And hair.
And
Got
hair.
hair.
And hair.
Lots
of hair.
Yeah, I have hair.
So until we get your
Long, beautiful hair.
until we get your allergies down, big
Or the other
back
one
in your head.
is I want to be. I don't know if you two know it, but the 1980s Beauty and the Beast TV
Yes.
Vincent.
series.
Ron
Vince.
Perlman.
Yes.
Yes.
I want to be Vincent.
Yeah.
You want to be Catman.
I'm thinking we should do it this year since Ron's going to be there, and I'll just walk in.
Oh yeah, because you know I have every ounce of energy to do that.
Tree.
Oh, and the reason you don't have your vampire costume is because of the rats.
Yeah, because the rats. Mm-hmm. How many years now, and you could have not bought more material and done more? Anyway,
Okay.
Paul, how are you?
Anyway,
On.
Paul,
so
what was yours?
All right. 2 for the embarrassing and 2 for the favorite. For the embarrassing, the childhood embarrassing one.
What's the childhood embarrassing one?
For whatever reason, I really liked Pinocchio as a kid.
Aww.
You went as Pinocchio.
I
Did you
want
have a
pictures.
Jiminy Cricket?
I didn't have a Jiminy Cricket, but
Yeah,
I
the
had a
nose.
freaking nose appliance. I had the hat. I had the suspenders. I had the fucking Birkenstocks.
Where's this picture?
There are lots of these pictures.
Mother has
She's seen all of all of the little outfits that my aunt and mom gave me.
They were
Paul,
awful
if
to
it was
him.
anything, here's the three. I was a ghost with a whole, sheet over the head, eyes cut out. As a ghost.
What was your other one?
Your favorite one.
The favorite one? Mm-hmm. Young, my favorite one was Dracula because Mom went all out with that.
Aww.
So I actually went and got the insert. Like the actual
I was gonna
teeth,
say,
the
did
actual
she take
like
you to the
teeth,
Guinness so you can
the
file?
actual. No, there was a costume shop, but it was an upscale costume shop that had like a set of 4 fangs that you actually inserted over your actual teeth,
Right.
and that
Dang,
stayed in.
go
Those are
on.
Common
awesome.
now.
Yeah.
When I was 9, Terminator 2 was the big movie,
Yeah.
and I had this like plastic overlay that you use like this fake skin material.
That kit too?
Yeah, the fake skin
Yeah,
material.
where you had
And-
fake endoskeleton. You had to put it on around.
yeah, and then it had like a little switch, and the eye lit up.
Yes, I
that
had
thing
that
was
too.
amazing.
I was out of high school then.
One that I desperately wanted to be cool, but it didn't come together.
Didn't translate.
The Crow.
Okay.
Mainly
You
because
just look like
You're
a
just
creeper.
like a high school bomber, yeah. Shooter.
You didn't do the face makeup right.
I didn't do face makeup.
Well, there's part of your problem.
yeah, that was a part of the problem.
Who are you,
big part of the problem was that I had short blonde hair.
Ooh.
So I didn't, and this was before the movie 3 was out. So like I had to have a wig, and we couldn't find a wig that worked right. So it ended up being this big black permed thing that never worked right.
70s Crow.
You get your Jerry curl on.
It was Studio 54 Crow. Let's go.
And
We have a demon here. I have to ask this. So, what was your favorite costume so far that you've worn during Halloween?
It hasn't happened yet.
What's your worst one?
The worst one I've been dressed up in, or the worst one that I've gone to Halloween for?
Halloween 4.
I have one that I didn't dress up for Halloween, but it was the vampire one. I didn't. How you put on the makeup?
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
We weren't supposed to.
So offended.
What was your name?
What was your most embarrassing? I've dressed you up as some pretty cool things, so.
I have my most embarrassing that.
When I was really young, I dressed up as Michelangelo the Ninja Turtle.
I remember that.
His very first Halloween, he was a turtle.
Yeah.
And then he's been an alligator, and he's been a football player.
I
and
think you
he's
had this whole swamp thing.
I don't know how many
going.
times he's been Star Wars something.
He's been
Yeah,
Star Wars
Star
something.
Wars something.
Last year he was Halo. That is
He was the best
what is-
Master Chief I've seen.
I'm telling you. What was your favorite, Charlie? Was it Halo?
My favorite was the Star Wars series.
Oh, one year he decided he was going to be the snow trooper.
Yeah.
He looked like he was a member of the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah.
Alright, Ash,
Go get the mask, Charlie. Go get the mask. It's in your drawer.
I'm loving that. I'm loving that look because his hair is like way up and blonde, and he's got an American flag shirt on.
Yeah, he does.
And he's going, I looked like a Klan member.
Yes. Okay, Gary, what was your most embarrassing?
So my most embarrassing was I was a rainbow. No, I was a cloud. That's what I was.
That's what you were. You were a cloud.
Yeah.
I was trying to visualize a rainbow.
No,
I remember
it
the
was
cloud.
like white.
It was
and
a
I had
white tutu, white, big old, huge
rainbow
boat. She was a cloud.
It was amazing.
Oh no.
See what I mean?
But
Oh no.
It is cloth and it's not made out of plastic.
That is, oh brother, where art thou? Like,
Yes.
Oh,
80
damn.
times over.
And the entire costume is white. The entire costume is white.
That's terrifying.
It
like,
is.
my blood just goes
No.
cold.
Well, when I bought it, I didn't realize that it was going to be look the way it did.
So is that an official licensed costume?
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Okay.
It actually is a licensed costume.
Okay, so your favorite costume.
My favorite costume.
I know my favorite costume for you.
Yeah,
She got a bugger bra. My favorite was when she was a cow.
my favorite had to be when I was a one-eyed, one-horned, flying purple people eater.
That's right. I forgot. That one was
Did
a fun one.
you actually know that song?
Yes.
Okay.
Who doesn't?
Okay, I know my favorite one that I was for Halloween.
It's a bug.
It was
I
a
mean,
bug.
my most embarrassing. My most embarrassing one was when I was like 5 or 6, and I was like that little princess. You remember that? I was like that little princess, and I was next to Krista, and that I went to go be like a cute princess, and it ended up forming into a not so cute princess.
So how all right, so what was so embarrassing about this princess attire?
Let's just say the dress didn't work out. That's the and she
tripping on it and falling on her face.
she
was one of those blow-up clowns.
And I was meaning to be Rapunzel, but she ended up braiding my hair the wrong way. That she French braided it instead of a normal braid, like
On the
just
side.
didn't work. And my
hanging
hair was
down.
like a bright blonde at that time, so it was like the perfect time to go as Rapunzel, but not the right dressing.
Speaking of tripping on your skirt, whenever I was in 4th grade, I was Esther, right? So we actually had to run a mile in PE that day, and no one told us. So I was wearing little brown sandals and this silk thing with lots of gold attachments, and it was hot, and oh my gosh, I fell down 1,000 times, and they would not let me stop. Like, they made me keep going. And then they recorded the time, 20 minutes, and they were mad at me because I didn't push myself.
I was pushing myself up off the ground.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Miss Krista.
Tink, what's your most embarrassing costume that I've ever dressed you in? No.
I think it was probably when I was a supposed purple poo, when I was like still chubby, and I was like a 12-year-old boy.
Okay, that requires explanation
Yes,
for
it does.
listeners.
Yes, it does.
If you didn't go to Charlton, you don't know what the
Like, a
purple poo
is. Like,
is.
basically really crazy people that just dress up in nothing that
Okay,
matches at all. And wear, like,
Tarleton State University is the closest university to us. We have 3 grads in this house right now. Yeah, and Chad.
Alumni.
Yep.
Yeah, and so they have it's kind of like a spirit squad, and they're all anonymous,
Yes.
and they all cover their faces, and they all dress crazy, and they're just there to like pep everybody up.
It is insanely creepy if no one explains it to you and you
Yes.
see them on campus
There's a
the
lot
first
of
time.
scream masks.
There are a
And
lot of
like
scream masks.
that kind of thing, because they don't
Rainbow
just cover,
wigs, too.
They don't just cover their face;
Their
they
whole
cover
body.
their whole body. So
Yeah,
you
because
can't tell what race they are.
don't officially announce who the purple poo for the year were
Until
until
graduation.
the end.
Yes, until graduation. And so you don't know who these people are. So this is okay. So we've got 12-year-old boy, purple
so I was
poo.
in a, like skin tight, and by skin tight I mean as skin tight as you could get, like blue tank top, and all my rolls are hanging out. I was in like this little emo black skirt.
Oh,
with,
okay, I remember that.
mix and match socks and some
like
funny
that one.
looking gloves, and my hair was up in a nasty bun. It was bad.
Okay, so what's your favorite?
Oh yeah, probably my firefighter from last year because that was hot.
I didn't care for said uniform very much.
It was a little too tight for my taste.
It was not appropriate for a 15-year-old.
When she was a SWAT, that was my favorite.
So yeah.
That was really tight.
Okay. Wow.
So hang on, we have one more person.
She won't do it.
What was your most embarrassing costume?
Literally all of them because I don't do Halloween.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I celebrated Halloween under protest.
She did. She just wanted the candy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Not even that anymore. Just like dried apricots, some orange slices. Not good.
Oh my God! When did she turn 90?
Right?
Right?
Good,
She
Marley.
reminds me of, what was that pic from,
I only eat prunes.
All right.
Yeah.
Have any more than prunes?
just sling me some slices, some apricot.
Have any
crushed
prune juice to wash it down?
cup of water. I'll be good.
Yeah.
So, but there we go. A little bit of Halloween,
A little
and we will
Halloween
get
fun.
more as we get closer.
Yeah.
And the other part is that there are people in this house that, and our costumes are required for said party.
Yes.
Nina,
Yes.
just so you know.
I don't even know if I'm gonna be here.
Okay, well,
You're
costume.
going.
I don't even
If
know if I'm gonna be here.
costume is required,
I'm going as a chicken peddler.
I'm going as a Gulf shrimp
So,
salesman.
wait a minute. So,
heard that
Katie, have you watched Nightmare Before Christmas?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yes.
oh yes.
Many
so
times.
My husband is not a huge Halloween dresser. He never has been. But since we started having the big party and doing it, he has actually started getting excited about getting a costume.
I love Chad dressing
and
up for Halloween.
last
It
year
was so much fun.
we were Tucker and
Yeah,
Dale.
y'all were Tucker and Dale
It
last
was
year.
awesome.
Well, and it was a very difficult to get a costume after surgery.
Yeah.
Something that didn't
But you
hurt.
pulled it off.
We did pull it off.
You did.
Yeah.
Hey, I pulled off being a zombie at work.
Yeah. So,
And you know what was the weird thing was the kids were all into it and the parents were the ones freaking out. And they're the ones that watch The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's pretty just,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, a little bit about Halloween. We'll talk more about that as we get closer. We'll probably maybe even do a more of a history show
Yes.
as we get closer. And then you can get
Bone up,
really
Katie.
into it.
Okay.
before we go any further, Ashlyn just said that her favorite costume that I went as was Ursula.
That was pretty cool.
That
I got
one was
to paint
pretty
you up
fun.
No, I don't
Really?
know. I would
Or
probably
the
have to
Oompa
say the
Loompa.
Oompa Loompa.
The Oompa Loompa
That
was
was
my
good, too.
favorite.
No.
It was the funny. It was the
That was
funny.
that was
You are the
that was one of my
Remember calling
favorites.
me about that one and asking me how to be orange?
Yeah, I
I
did.
had orange body paint.
I did. Well, how the hell else are you going to be an Oompa Loompa? I needed to be orange. And my skin is a little orange, but it's not that orange.
Yeah, but here's
Yeah.
the phone
And
call.
you should have seen my green
it
hair.
was Chris. Yes. Do you know how to be orange? What?
Eat
Eat a lot of
carrots.
orange? And she goes, no. Do you know how to be orange? Body paint?
I can be annoying.
She goes, do you have any? She goes, do you have any orange body paint? I'm like, I've got every color of the rainbow. She goes, I'm going to come right over.
Yeah, and we tried it because I have a real sensitive skin.
Yep.
And so we had to try it beforehand. That's how I knew the purple that I was covered in last year. Year before last was, it was full on Ursula. You weren't here that year.
No,
I need to
that
show
was-
you.
that was before.
She goes, you got to come over after work. I'm like, okay. And so we're standing in her bedroom and the party's going on. And she's like, paint faster. And I'm like, hold your arms up.
I mean, I was full on
Oh, yeah.
purple. Like, I don't think people understand. I'm going to show you how purple I
And she had purple glitter on her.
I
I had
did
tentacles
green
and a-
body paint one year because I was the Wicked Witch of the West / Elphaba.
I need to do that one.
Well, I would love to let you do it because I did a really crappy job. Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
It took her about 10, 11 baths trying to get all the purple
Oh my
out.
gosh.
And both of the girls were mermaids.
Wow.
Yeah, so they were the little mermaids, and I was Ursula. You should have seen Chris getting my wig to stay up. It was amazing. I even had the shell necklace.
Really?
Oh, and there's my Oompa Loompa.
Wow. Oh, I always wanted to be Ursula because she's like the one and only plus size model that you have in like the Disney sphere.
If you ever want to borrow it, I still got it.
She's also the most intimidating of all
Yes,
Disney
she
villains.
is.
Because she doesn't give a she'll rip your throat out.
She's gonna rip your voice out and turn you into some sort of seaweed. I almost said weed. She's gonna smoke you later.
There you go. We can make you Ursula this year.
Okay.
I've got the costume.
What are we gonna do for him?
Aw, you made me ink. We have a costume and everything.
If
I just
you
need to...
are Ursula, that means you have to be King Trident.
Oh, yes. Yes. Please. Wow. Oh, pretty please.
We already had an idea.
Yes, we did. And I like it. We may buy it and then save it for next year.
Come on, Baldy.
I would love to see you all blue.
And with a tail.
Yeah.
Topless.
Yeah.
Hey.
You can always go as her poor unfortunate soul.
Your physique matches, so it's good.
Did Rip Torn play the King Trident?
You can always go as her poor unfortunate soul.
He dressed you up like a seaweed.
Yeah.
I love that you're making it canon that King Trident and Ursula were matched. So now we've got that next Disney live action movie. That's gonna be like King Trident dumps her, and she's like,
she didn't really have a love interest, so you can either go as King Trident or you can go as a poor unfortunate soul.
Oh, he could be Flexum or Jetsam.
No,
there we go. One of the
I mean, it's gonna be revealed. Ursula was Ariel's mother, and
right, or she was the guy that she was Triton's original, woman.
That was an old flame from high school.
Yeah, and then he got
pregnant.
His side chick got pregnant with the first of Ariel's.
Oh, the side chick.
Ariel's sisters.
Yeah. Damn little side pieces.
And so we married the side.
And then he came out of the water.
So if you can't,
Cinderella's
if the audience can't tell, we weren't fans of Maleficent.
No.
You know what?
Nope.
I wasn't fan
You
of
weren't fans?
Maleficent. I think the story plot was kind of okay, but no.
I didn't like the
it
character.
Wasn't the traditional.
I didn't like how they strayed from the original
Yes.
because, if anything, I am a purist.
They removed
the original material.
They went to say. They took a character whose name literally means evil in the dictionary,
And then made her sympathetic.
No. First,
we're getting the big boys out.
First, they remove all power of her. They basically castrate her.
They strip her.
It's gentrification in a Disney movie.
It's not even castration. It's more or less rape. He drugged her. He took her wings. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's the same essence of that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I understand the whole being sympathetic, but the thing about it is she was really going after the fairies, not so much the kid. Mm-hmm. But, I mean...
The whole second half of that movie, you could keep playing Sting's I'll Be Watching You whenever she's, looking after the kid.
Yeah. Pretty much.
The Stalker song?
Yeah, the Stalker song.
Every step you take.
Okay.
Every breath you take.
My favorite part is when, she's zapping the fairies and the crow looks at her and she's like, what?
I also love that they made the crow turn into a dragon instead of her. They took away all her power.
All of her power.
I don't remember Brandon Lee turning into a dragon.
That's actually what went through my head first.
I still love the original Sleeping Beauty. I still love how evil she
Great
is.
style.
And her wicked laugh. And, I mean, she's just... Name another villain that has that much of an entrance.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay there?
What? Because she's getting invited to a party. She summons hell.
Green flames.
Right?
Yeah.
That was Betty Davis, right?
No.
Who voiced her?
No.
It was a screen star. It was a star, known star.
Go Fast Fingers.
We got a speed round going.
Yes, we do.
Eleanor Audley.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. great. She had a great turn.
Yes.
Yeah, she did. Yep. She was amazing and Maleficent.
Yep.
I'm pretty quick with the fingers.
Yep, fast fingers.
You can't
All right.
be her.
What?
You can't be her. I call dibs.
Okay, that's fine.
Fast fingers? No, that's my job.
That is my
Okay, we've got to wrap this up.
Yep.
It's getting late.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Quit fingering the
Stop
mic.
fingering the mic.
What? I can't hear anything.
Okay.
Oh, wait. I feel like I'm on a Verizon commercial.
Can
Or
you hear us
Sprint
now?
or whatever.
How about now?
Oh, there we go. Now I can hear you.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, there we go. Halloween. I think I said that before.
Yes.
I did say that before, right?
Yeah.
Halloween's
And we'll
coming
be
up.
talking about
Halloween's
more.
coming up.
Just a little sit around, talk about Halloween's past and coming, and
Yeah.
because our movie was not worth talking about.
And
So.
Katie's coming out.
Let us know.
You know what they say? 59 more days till Halloween. Halloween. 59 more days till Halloween. Silver Shamrock.
I skipped that movie. I go 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yep. Standalone, it's good.
Yeah.
Not in the sequence.
It is cheesy
we want,
goodness.
We want you to answer Paul's question.
Yes.
So you can do that by coming on over to our Facebook, our Twitter, or our Instagram.
And where can they
Ooh,
listen to us?
even better on Instagram, show us that picture.
Yes.
Yes,
Show us the
please.
pictures.
Show us that
we would love
embarrassing-
that.
We want to see the embarrassing ones, and we want to see the best ones.
Yes.
You're not
Yeah.
saying we're sharing ours, right?
I will share.
Yeah, I got a whole webpage. We're
I
deciding-
will share my Oompa Loompa and my Ursula. I don't have a picture of me as a saloon girl.
What
I
about the
know.
go-go dancer?
But
I don't have a picture of that either.
If you do find us on social media, you can probably find footage of us at the last year's Halloween party.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We'll have a better one this year because we got better connection, better signal.
Yes.
So
Hopefully.
so that show
Better
will
planned.
actually be done through Facebook.
Yes, it will.
live
Facebook Live.
versus our actual podcast.
Up your feast.
So, also don't forget to subscribe to us.
Yes.
You can do that on podcast.com,
But you guys know what?
Spreaker.com, iHeartRadio, iTunes, or
Google Play.
Or watch us on YouTube and turn on the closed
Subtitles.
captioning.
Oh yeah,
Hold
turn
on.
on those captions.
Hold up. I have to say this, though. Somebody in this room is having a birthday coming up in
Terrorist.
this month.
Yes. Yes, I might be.
There is more than
turning
one of us with a
older.
birthday in this month. Hello.
Right.
Duh.
But yeah, but yours is but you know.
Are they a week apart?
Exactly a week apart.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I kind of share my month with you.
What?
I always kind of share my month with you.
Yours
That's
is
when
your
all
month
the
is
cool stuff
October.
I know,
My
but that's
month
when
is
I got
I feel like
that.
I'm tuning in rabbit ears.
Anyways, okay. So we have birthdays coming up, so we'll be
Yes.
having some
So
celebrations.
Give a
and-
shout out to Katie and Heather.
Yes,
Katie's
yes, yes.
first. She's on the 11th. Coming right around the corner. Yes. And then Heather's is coming up. And it's in September.
It's
We said
exactly 1
1
week from Katie.
78.
Add 7 days to the 11th, Chris.
The 18th.
There you go.
There you go.
Beautiful.
Didn't I just say that?
That,
I don't know.
that-
You ask my best friend
that
Julie.
didn't
They'll tell
play
you the day
smooth.
before the day after.
Just if you're wondering if that played smooth, it
It
didn't.
did not. No, not even a little.
And that is September.
Oh, it's time to go home.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So don't forget to subscribe to us and send us those images on
Yes,
Instagram.
yes. Give us some info.
Or
I will put some, I will
Facebook
put some up
or
too.
Twitter or whatever. But we will see y'all again next week. And as always,
Stay scared.
Fear Central is a product of Thoughtbox Studios. Copyright 2017. For more information, visit thoughtboxstudios.com.